What is up, Pirates of Skull and Bones? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. Today I'm going to go over tips, tricks, quality of life features all throughout Skull and Bones to try to help you get a leg up on some of the other pirates you're going to be going up against, explain some mechanics that'll help you out just getting around the map, and make overall quality of your gameplay better to make it maybe a little more enjoyable for you. Let's just dig right into it. There's no specific order here. There's a lot I need to unpack. I'll try to condense some stuff, but at the end of the day, good things take time. But the first thing I want to go into is in your inventory. Now, I play on PC, so to bring up my inventory, I just press I, and that brings it right up. So if you're on console, press whatever button, you go there. The thing I want to touch on is cooked versus uncooked items that you consume. Stamina, big deal out when you're in the ship. If you want to go top speed, you consume a lot of stamina. At first, I really wasn't using a lot of the food items, and then I had lots and lots of items in my inventory. So what I want to show you is these bananas. They're really easy to get, or the coconuts, also really easy to get, and you get lots of them when you go and harvest them. So those two things are very good. And they don't take a lot of weight in the cargo, so when you're in those lower tier ships, you're not going to just fill it out. My recommendation is to get one food type, whatever you have the most of, 50 or 100 of them is great, and just run with just that, because you want to have as many items freed up in your inventory cargo space as possible. I've had times when I didn't fill it up on weight, but I wanted to pick up another different type of item that would not fit in my cargo because I didn't have enough open slots. And so you want to condense as much stuff into as few slots as possible to give you the most opportunity to pick up rare materials or extra materials that you would need to craft later. So for that reason, I was running at first with like almost three lines of food items. So I'd have, bananas and coconuts and different meats and all kinds of just cooked and uncooked stuff, just lots of it if I ran out. You can go to port pretty often, so I would say just pick one and then cook it. And the reason you want to cook it is pretty huge. So these bananas right here, for example, they restore 20% of stamina. But if you take and you go over to the cooking pot and you cook them, they double that. Now, not all things are going to give a double, but in the case of these bananas, if we go and we turn them into grilled bananas, we go from 20 to 40. 40% stamina is great. You can just sit there and use that over and over and over again, and you'll pretty much never run out no matter what boat you're in. So I'll just do that. I'll do the max and then just cook them all. It's instant. You don't have to wait, and you're good. Nothing expires that I've found. So if you have like any kind of fish or whatever, if you put it in your warehouse, it never goes bad. So just stack up stuff, and when you have a big stack of whatever item that's a food, grab that stack, put your other food back, and just rotate through them. So we'll do all those durian fruits, and then I'm gonna cook all these fish as well. So now that we've got all those done, I would say run with one stack, you're good to go. Now, the other side of things is there's these other meals you can cook here. In a later game, this is definitely going to be worth it, especially when we start to get into PvP things, because of the foods, like this one, for example, when you consume that, you get better stamina, or reduces the stamina consumption, so you get less use or more use out of your bar. You use less with this while trimming the sails by 30, so you get 30% deduction in that. Restores repair kit efficiency by 10%. That's pretty good. Makes, just your repair kits do more for you. And then stamina regen is up by 30% as well. That buff duration lasts 30 minutes. And so if you carry a couple of those or eat one right before you go out and you're boating around, or have one, eat it, and then have another one in your inventory to eat later, that's an hour of gameplay off of 2 items, and all that does is take coconut and flour, so that's really easy to come about. And the other ones give bigger boons and different boons depending on what it is, but don't sleep on the meals here. This is all really, really good stuff, so I would definitely encourage you to do that. Next thing we're going to touch on is the job board and missions in general. Missions is how you get silver and how you level up and get XP, and sometimes you get some really good items from them as well. There is no disadvantage to taking as many missions. You can't have too many. You can only track one at a time. I'll go into the tracking here in a little bit because that's really, really neat. Take them all. Go to the job board, grab every single one that you see. I've already taken them all off the board. There's no jobs at the moment, but grab everything from them. If you see that the blacksmith or the carpenter or anybody's got a job that you can take it, because you'll be out on the open seas and you might blast another ship that contributes towards one mission. They might have an item that another person needs, so that contributes towards that one. And in doing so, you're doubling down. And in some cases, you can kind of like almost do 3 tiers, like doing an item for this, getting kills for this, and it's a certain type of ship, and you're getting kills for that. And so it's like you can really power level and get lots of stuff going. And if you don't have that mission picked up, it won't contribute to it. Now, there's item-specific missions that sometimes you'll pick it up and you've already got the items in your inventory and you just turn it right in immediately, which really feels good. But a lot of the other ones are cumulative and you need to have the mission in your bank to get that going. So I would recommend just picking up everything that you can from anyone that has it. And if you end up not doing it, no big deal. You can just get rid of it later. And the way to do that is you just go to your missions here. If I'm on the map, I press G for journal. They're right here, and let's just say I didn't want to do this level 2 smuggler's bribes. All right, cool. So I just would track it, and then I can just abandon it. And so I would recommend just abandoning the low level ones that are way beneath you, because a couple hundred silver is not a big deal if you want to get it out of the stack. But that's a really good way to go about it. And accumulating silver is a big thing. We'll touch on that here in a moment. Right now I've only got 9K, but I've spent, let me pull up my Ubisoft here. I've spent 143,803 silver. So I've made a lot and I've spent a lot. And I'll show you a really great way to do that coming up here soon. A lot of items that you're going to need to craft or you're going to want to create for your ship, whatever it might be, is going to require very specific resources. The refinery is a really good place for that, and I think that some people are going to gloss over this or not even go talk to them. The refinery is where you go and you take raw materials that you've got and then you craft the higher tier of that. So in this case, I've got a bunch of this fine Rami, and I'm just going to go max there and just craft it. Now it does take a little silver and it does take a little time, but this, if you only need maybe a couple more bars of something, or you need a couple more certain planks, go here and see if you've got enough to craft what you need and kind of top you up, so that way you don't have to leave port to go get that last one single plank. It's a pretty good way to go about it. It's really coming pretty clutch for me, and this comes in with just taking lots of items and grabbing lots of things. So, and when you're doing this, you can do 2 things at a time. So select your materials for the first thing, and then once it starts, you can select your materials for the second thing and start it, so that way you're kind of maximizing your time. We're over here at the carpenter. I want to touch on really important things that a couple of my friends glossed over. Go to the carpenter, craft new items. Make sure you are tiering these up to the highest tier that you possibly can. It makes the mining of the materials faster, and you get more of them per swing that you do, and that helps maximize time in the game. So I've got everything leveled up to pickaxe 4, saw 4, you know, all that stuff. But honestly, the 2 best things you can get is get your spyglass leveled up as fast as you can, and then get your crowbar maxed out as fast as you can. For beta right now, the highest we can go is crowbar 4. Crowbar 5 will be good when we get actually 2 Corsair rank. But this is what you use to open up the ships, and they're everywhere. They're all over the map. There's more crashed ships in this game than I think anything. And when you roll up on it, you play the little mini game where you hit the bar in the middle. And once you get a higher tier crowbar, that goes a little faster, and there's always lots of really good materials in there. So making sure you are hitting those pirate ships while you're out and about, and making sure that you have a crowbar to actually get into some of the higher tier ships is omega important. So make sure you don't gloss over that. Make sure you get your crowbar, and then also the spyglass. Spyglass allows you to zoom in and look at other ships, which I'll show you here in a moment. And you can see exactly what cargo they have on board. So if you're searching for some materials, you can just peep all the ships around you and find out if they've got what you need. And then you know who to go blow up instead of blowing up just everybody. But there are advantages to blowing up just everybody, and I'll talk about those in a moment. Blueprints, blueprints, blueprints. I would say you always want to keep about 1,000 silver on your person, so that way you've got enough money to fast travel to a couple locations if you need to. And I'll touch on that here in a moment. But blueprints is the name of the game. It's where I've spent majority of my money. And when I see a blueprint, I just buy it regardless, because I might need it later. Where you're going to get your blueprints, and every vendor everywhere has potential to have blueprints for you guys. So I go to buy and sell. Make sure you buy all of them. You'll see I've got everything here. And they're kind of expensive. I mean, they range anywhere from 45 silver all the way up to 800. Some of them are thousands, 2,000, 5,000 for the ships. Just buy them. If you've got excess silver, buy the blueprints. And if you're kind of a lower level, don't buy cosmetics, go buy blueprints. I would much rather have a better hull to reduce damage than to have a really fancy hat. But everybody's going to play it different. I would really, really recommend that you guys look into that for sure. It's important. And then, like I said, you guys pick up missions from whoever. In this case, these are pretty easy missions and they only give me a couple hundred silver. I'll show you a way to get a couple hundred silver a lot easier than that. So I won't grab those. But yes, and everybody's got blueprints for everything. The shipwright right here, he's also got blueprints. Just make sure you're going to the buy and sell tab. And then even if you don't see them right here, scroll down. They will appear. Right here, here's the bender. I already bought that ship. But like, you want to make sure that you are searching through anybody who sells stuff for any blueprints, because they're everywhere and you can save yourself a lot of time traveling to a specific spot for a blueprint if you already hit it when you were already there. So save up your silver, buy blueprints, and get all of that going. Your warehouse is shared between all locations where you can get out of your boat and walk around. So make sure that you are putting items in the warehouse as fast as you get them anytime you get out of your ship, so that way you've always got free inventory space. It's a really, really great thing. It goes everywhere. I'm gonna grab that really fast. You'll see that I have all of my food items in here. I just stack them up. I just take the food items, slam them in there, and then keep a single stack of whatever. So I'm gonna transfer all those to the warehouse. Actually, we'll mark those. I guess I need those for a mission, so you know, still move them to the warehouse because they'll be there later. But the move is just keeping minimum items on your person, the cannonballs that you need, the repair kits that you need, and then like water is amazing because it makes you go faster, so I'll keep those in my person. But everything else, guys, you have 170 slots. I dump everything in here. I have yet to fill that up. I mean, I've still got 45 slots left, so I would really recommend or 35 slots left. I would just dump everything that you get in here. Don't break anything down until you're out of space, and then probably start breaking down your lower tier guns. Now, something else, if you're hurting for money and you're just slamming everything in your warehouse, you can kind of use it like a bank. There's these like military relics. These sell to vendors for a lot of silver. I've got 2 of those. These sell for silver. These sell, and these sell. So keep an eye out for these types of items here. When you get them, put them in your warehouse, and then if you're ever at a spot and you want a blueprint but you don't really have the money and you've got a couple of those sitting, you've kind of basically gave yourself a little bit of savings, so that way you can do it and buy whatever item it is you're needing, because that's really going to help you out a lot. And make sure that when you're going around, guys, just stack and grab everything, because you will use all of these materials in one way or another later. I would say that probably the only thing you don't need to spend a ton of money on is cannonballs. Everything has cannonballs. Everything you pick up at sea has cannonballs. I've got 2,000 cannonballs that I can't do anything with because I'm not even using those as my weapon right now. So I would say probably don't spend any money or crafting mats on cannonballs, except for maybe the first time when you go out, because once you start pillaging, those things stack really fast. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, let's go out and actually get in the boat and do some stuff. I'm not a short walk away from where the boat is, but instead of doing that, I'll go down and look at the bottom. Whatever hotkey is for whatever controller type you're using, for me it's Z. You can just press that and go right into the boat and warp right there. So that'll save you a little bit of time walking, especially if you're up on one of the islands hitting the fire or something like that to get more XP or get that boost. You're good to go. So once you're here, you can manage your cargo, do everything with your ship. You guys all have seen this screen. Now, I want to fast travel because I want to go do this mission that's over here. I don't have to go to the boat to do that. If you are just not in the boat and you're at this screen and you bring up your map, as long as you're on an island where you can walk around, you can fast travel to any other island that you have unlocked. And so I've already gone out here before, so I'll just click this, hold the button, and fast travel out there. Now, it cost me 485 silver to do that, but time is money in this type of game, and so I'm going to cut down on the time used, spend a little money, and we'll go to this delivery crate and deliver whatever goods it's asking me for. I may or may not have them. I'm pretty sure I do. We'll give a look real fast. Alright, yeah, so it wants me to get brandy. I've already got 11 out of 4. I'll submit that really fast. So I spent 475 to instantly get there, but we made 1650, so we subtract that, we made over $1,100, or 1,100 silver in this case, just by quickly going out there. So I'd really recommend everybody that you just go everywhere that you can. Always make sure you go and dock up and go to the island and unlock it as a fast travel point, because you're going to want to warp around the map later. It'll save you a lot of time. The other thing is this cache I talked about when we were doing the warehouse thing. This cache is linked directly to your warehouse, and so on any island you go to that you can fast travel to, you have access to that warehouse. And so you're not going to leave something behind if you put it there. It'll always have access to you when you get to your main island or go to anywhere you're exploring. And this is a really great way when you're out doing stuff, adventuring around, when your items are full. Just go hit one of these places, dump your cache in there, or dump your inventory into the cache, and then you're good to go. When you're at these places, make sure you always talk to these smugglers and see what they've got for sale, because they might have a blueprint that you are needing. In this case, I need to be cutthroat 1 to get that, otherwise I would have got it. Same here with this blueprint, but I would be buying those right now if I needed them. The other thing is, if you're running low on certain resources like flour to maybe make something, a lot of these guys have them, and when you have these spots open for fast travel, you can get there pretty quickly and it'll save you a lot of time. So instead of walking over there, I'll just press the hotkey and we'll just get right into the boat. We're gonna talk ships. Ships are great. As you tier up, you'll notice big differences, but not always is that next tier ship super worth it for what your type of gameplay is. I've got right now the highest level ship that we can get in the beta. It's the Padwaking. Anyway, I've got it tiered up to level 7. Nothing wrong with it. The whole health is full, the speed is full, and the cargo is full. So we can go the fastest with the most life, and I can pack the most shit in it. That's cool. But honestly, my favorite ship is the sloop right here, because it actually does more DPS based on the type of combat that I do. And so the second ship that you get is actually a pretty damn good way to go. Don't get me wrong, that's got more health and whatnot, but this one's really, really sturdy once you get into it. I'm also going to walk you through the best gun loadout that I personally use. Everybody's got different opinions here, but I'm going to show you why I like this one, and you guys let me know what you think in the comments, truthfully. So we're going to go into manage ship. For the weapons, on the front, fire bombs. On the side, fire bombs. On the other side, oh yeah, fire bombs, because fire bombs rock, dude. And then for your armor, whatever the highest tier of armor is you've got, I think in this case, these layered scales are where it's at. They were on one of my other boats, so I'll put those in there. They're really good. And then the furniture items, I can get 2 out of 3 here. What do I already have? I've got this Bombard Works, which makes the fire bombs that I've got do a damage multiplier of 19%. That's really good. And then the other one I've got is front powder kegs, increase front weapon damage by 10%. So the front ones are doing like bonkers damage. And then for my special furniture slot, I can choose from different ones. I really like increased damage 15% after crew attack for 30 seconds. So when you do a crew attack, you have, like after that, when you get the rifles out or do whatever you're doing there, then you have basically increased damage for 30 seconds after that. I really think that's pretty good. This is the other one. If you're using a lot of cannons and you're good with your shots, it decreases your reload time, so you can just get way more DPS out. But honestly, scoping station is the move if you are good. With these cannons, I can shoot pretty far away. If I hit somebody that's 320 meters away, they become marked, and I do 100% more damage to their weak points. Because these are AoE type weapons, it's not hard for me to hit the weak points, and I can kill a lot of ships very quickly. And so with that equipped, you guys, we can take just the second tier ship that you get and basically tier it all the way up to a level 6, and I'll go toe-to-toe DPS with level 9, level 10 ships and do just fine. Don't get me wrong, you got to sail around and not die, but it definitely gets it done. And so you'll see that my level 6 ship now has almost full whole health, but the speed and the cargo is maxed out for what it is. And so it does really well. It's not quite as good as this one, but it is really pretty good. So I would recommend the sloop. I think it's a pretty good ship. Let's talk about item tracking. Not quest tracking, but item tracking. This is a really cool thing you can do, guys. So if I bring up my journal, this is where all your missions and everything are at, and you can sort through those. There's different things. That's cool. But if you actually bring up the menu and you go over to knowledge, and then you go into your codex, this shows all the different weapons and all the different materials and stuff of that nature. You can track anything in this list. So let's just say, okay, I want to go and track all the stuff for the sloop. You can just click it, start tracking, and now when you're at this screen, it shows you everything you need. So hypothetically speaking, let's just say I need to go get some cobalt ingots. Now when you bring up your map, it shows you the location of all of the stuff that you need to build your boat, or build the crowbar, or build that next cannon that you're looking for. And so in this case, let's just say I want to go get some cobalt. I can mine it there, or I can go up here and pillage this area. So I'm going to go pillage, show you guys a little bit of combat with this ship, and then we'll call it a video. But I think that's a really cool thing that they've implemented for you guys, or for all of us. And I would encourage everybody to utilize that, to be tracking all of those things that you're needing, all those things that you're trying to level up and get, because there's a lot you need to do in this game, and it's really easy to get distracted. And so when you've got something, you can just pull up your map and be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I just need 4 more ingots, or I need a little more casting sand. And it tells you everywhere on the map that that's located, that you've discovered, and you can just warp there or boat there really quickly. That's going to save you a lot of time, keep you on task, and allow you to really maximize to level up quickly. And it makes the game feel a lot less grindy. Let's talk sailing quality of life. This is something that changed the game for me. I want all of you guys to do this, whether you're playing on console or PC. The scroll wheel is something you guys need to work on. So for me, that's X, brings up this menu, and then you have to go and select whatever you want to do. When you're in the heat of battle, somebody's about to murder you, there's 10 ships coming down on you. This is not a menu I ever want to see in front of me. So when you're here, you click Y for edit, or if you're on mouse and keyboard, you'll click C to edit this. When you're in here, you can change what this wheel does. Now you've got up, down, left, and right, or right and left. Obviously, I did those in the wrong order. You can map specific things to these, and then all you have to do is press the D-pad. This is huge. So I have my health item to the right, so that way I use a repair kit if I take damage. I've got my stamina items, which I use all the time, the most of, mapped to D-pad up. And then I've got like my water mapped to D-pad down. Or on the keyboard, it's just 1, 2, and 3. You'll see there's 1, a 2, and a 3 right there. This is huge. So when you're at this screen, once you've mapped those, you don't need to do anything. If you want to hit a stamina thing, you just press up on the D-pad. Boom, it's there. Oh, I want to heal myself. I just press right on the D-pad. Boom, it's done. And that's going to give you a so much better quality of life for just boating around. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just be sailing and just press 1, 2, or 3 if you're on keyboard, or press the D-pad and get those mapped. And so make sure that you map all of your health items and stamina items to that, so that way you can get the most out of it, you guys. This is a big deal. Pick whatever thing fits in there the best. I always just pick whatever I've got the most of. In this case, it's the coconuts, because it's the only thing I'm running with, and it's going to make things better for you when you're traversing the ships and everything. Now let's talk combat. So when you combine that with the use of a telescope, you become very dangerous. Let me show you what this telescope does. So I'm coming up on that ship in front of us. If you're on a controller, you click in the right thumbstick. For me, I do this, and then I can zoom in. He is carrying some cannonballs and some grilled bread. That's it. That dude doesn't have hardly anything. I don't want to mess with him. What about this guy right here? What's he got? He's got some linen, some cannonballs, some bread, and some money. So that sounds good. I'm going to have to fight him anyway if I want to pillage this spot. So we're just going to go ahead and start murdering him first, and then I'll plunder here in a second. Another technique, you guys, is what I just did. You'll see that I rotate between the left and the front. So this line here is the divider. That's front cannons, that's side cannons. And so if I keep the target I'm shooting for between those two spots, I can do a lot more DPS by shooting all three of my side cannons, because this sloop's got three, and then rotating back to the front, and then rotating back to the side. And so while the front ones are charging up, I'm blowing up stuff with the side, and then going back, and while it's reloading the sides, I'm using the front. I gotta get out of the way here. They're gonna blow us up. And you guys see what kind of damage we're knocking off these boats here. It's kind of insane. These cannons do a lot of damage, and it's very, very easy to learn how to arc the shots. Like that one shot right there did 16k. And this is the level 3 sloop with the bombardiers or whatever, level 2 ones of those that I showed you earlier on the stream, or in the video, excuse me. And so right now we've already blown up the towers. We're chilling. We're gonna press number 2 to hit a repair. So now our boat repaired. I didn't have to bring up that menu. That's really nice. Both the cannons or the turrets are gone. And so we're just chilling. We're just chilling. Waiting for our other guys to come. There he is. He's way off in the distance there. So we're gonna pull forward a skosh and get him in our sights. Lead our target a little bit. Oh yeah, and then a single volley from the side of the boat killed that level 5 ship. We are in a level 5 ship, but we've got it up to level 6 with our weapons. And then these guys are coming in from the side. We can't allow that. So the side's still loading. We'll swing over here to the front. Get back on the side here. Try to pop a shot between the two to get them both. Didn't quite work. And even though these aren't like direct cannons, they have a little bit of an arc to it. If you just shoot kind of underneath where your target's at, you're going to very easily get it. Alright, thanks, dude. Oh, shoot. He's refueling health. There he goes. We got him. And you'll see I'm not driving around. We're just planted, pivoting in circles, not doing too much, using a little health when we need it. It's very easy to go and pillage these areas or plunder them and not really have to get all sweaty and crazy about it. So we see that level 5's coming in from a ways off. Let's just see if we can shoot these over the side there. Yes, we can. Try to lead our target a little bit. We're a little behind on that one. Second one might get him. Nope. And we'll shoot in front. Oh, that's up on the rocks. Oh, there we go. We're kind of hitting his sails. We're overshooting it a little bit. But this is what normal cannons do not do, you guys. Being able to arc those shots and put shots on target before he can even see us is tremendous. Now, mind you, we didn't get the loot that came off of him. It's still a ways out. We'll have to go and like boat up to him to get it. That guy, he's way off in the distance. He's already at half health. We're crushing him. Pillaging and plundering gets a lot simpler when you've got a loadout you can utilize. Not everybody's going to like this gameplay style, but it's very low pressure. It's really easy for me to get resources, and I really like the way it works and the damage output I can get with these cannons. So guys, that is a bunch of tips, tricks, knowledge, quality of life features that I would recommend. There's a lot more to this game, but this will sum up some of it, and if it gets some decent traction, I'll probably do a second video for you guys. But at least it'll give you an idea of what a level 3 sloop can do, because that's what we're in, against higher tier stuff. And honestly, this boat will carry you all the way through the end of beta and definitely very early game stuff. Easily the first 20-30 hours of gameplay you could probably do in this boat. I really like it because of the 3 cannons on the side. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the high seas. Bye.